You're watching the Wellness Hour, news that makes you healthier. I'm Randy Alvarez. Today's topic, replacing missing teeth with dental implants. According to my first guest, he says nobody should be wearing a loose-fitting denture. We've had him on the program before, Dr. Michael Ling. Dr. Ling, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Randy. I'm really happy to be back.
Good. Now, you have a stack of photos. We had you in the program about 3 years ago, and you told me a lot has changed. What's changed?
Well, Randy, not only has the technology changed a lot just in the past few years, and now we can deliver brand new teeth that are rock solid, look amazing, never have to come out, and it's faster and easier than ever.
How fast?
Well, in as little as 2 appointments.
Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, we can meet somebody today and give them teeth tomorrow. That's the fastest that we've done it.
Is that right? Okay, and that's and that's not unusual. You can do it like that.
What I tell people is how fast we go is really more dependent on their schedule and how fast they want to go, and not really dependent on how fast we can do it. Because we can give you teeth tomorrow if you really, really want. But the biggest thing that's changed in the past few years is the transformation that me and my team have seen in our patients.
Okay.
Because what we see every single day is patients who come to us and they can't eat, they can't chew their favorite foods, they're feeling depressed, they're feeling sad, they don't feel like themselves, they're feeling embarrassed about their smiles. And we take them from that situation to brand new teeth where they can smile with confidence. They never have to worry about what their teeth look like when they're taking photos or meeting new people. They can eat whatever they want with no hesitation, no restrictions. That's really life-changing for them.
And you were been telling me at the green room that it's like they come in, you know, maybe for their 6-month cleaning, and sometimes they're unrecognizable. The way they act, their charisma's changed.
What I find, Randy, is that these people that we meet, they're not trying to get their teeth fixed for vanity reasons. Like the people that we work with, we don't work in Beverly Hills. They're not trying to be supermodels. They're not trying to be, on a cover of a magazine. What they're really looking for is the confidence boost that comes with a brand new smile. So they no longer have to worry about people staring at their teeth. What we hear all the time is, I don't like to smile because people think I'm grumpy all the time because of the way my teeth look. Okay. Or they assume, we all do it. We all, we're not supposed to, but we judge a book by its cover. And when you see somebody with broken down, worn out, unhealthy teeth, you can't help but assume that that person is also, unhealthy in other ways.
Good point. Okay.
They're uneducated. They're poor.
Your patients tell you this?
Yeah, this is how they
feel judged.
These are the stories that they tell us. And then when they come back, they come back and their hair is done, their makeup is done, they can't stop laughing, can't stop showing off their teeth. A lot of our patients, they come in and we know they're in the office before we even see them because we hear them talking and laughing at the front. So we're all the way in the back and there's Carmine, he's in again because we can hear him laughing and joking at the front. And it's a complete transformation from these people who started as just so closed off, so self-conscious, so embarrassed about themselves, and now they just feel free to be themselves again.
What do they like more? What they can eat, or how it looks? Or is it a combination of both?
Yeah, it goes both ways. And what I find it's interesting is the patients that come in and say, I don't like the way my smile looks. Those are the ones that when we finish their smiles and we say to them, what's the biggest difference? What have you noticed since we last saw you? The last year when we fixed your teeth. They say, my teeth look great, but what I realized is I didn't realize how much I missed eating food. And so now
What are the big ones as far as food?
What do you hear? Salads, raw vegetables, raw fruits, apples, corn on the cob. Those are all the typical ones. The most interesting one that I heard recently is, we always talk about chewing a juicy steak, and everybody kind of gets that. When you have bad teeth, you can't tear into a juicy steak. But what this gentleman said to me is, when I go to steakhouse, it's not the steak that I look most forward to, it's the bread at the beginning of the meal. They got these spread.
So they can't even eat bread when you have bad teeth?
Yeah, you can't chew the sourdough bread that they give you at the beginning. Now that's what he loves about his teeth is, of course he looks forward to the steak, but now we can tear into that bread and not worry about his teeth, coming out with the bread. Okay,
your center, and people need to know, I'm not trying to side with you, but correct me if I'm wrong. So the way dental implants are typically done, and here in the U.S. as well, in the States, is you go to one doctor that does the implant surgery, you go to another office to get the teeth put on, and then they kind of outsource all the lab work. At your office, you do both parts. And you even print the teeth in the next room. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Is that why you do it so quickly?
Yeah, the typical way of going from really, really bad teeth to really, really nice, brand new, rock solid teeth is it's done in phases. This is the way that we've done it in dentistry for decades.
Okay.
So you would come in with a mouthful of broken down, worn out, infected teeth. The dentist would take out your teeth, and then they would wait for that to heal. They would do some bone grafting probably.
They still do this today?
Yeah, this is the way that probably almost every dentist does it this way.
All right.
So they would do some bone grafting, which takes, it could take 12 months, 18 months. Multiple rounds of bone grafting, and then they put the implants in, wait a few more months, and then you get your teeth. So that process, it does work. We did that for decades in dentistry. What we found, though, for our patients is that there's just so many obstacles that are stopping people from going ahead. People don't want to wait 24 months to get their teeth. They've been dealing with...
But how are you getting around it? Bone grafting is legitimate, right? It helps the teeth stay in place. Because, in fact, I think on some of your Google, it's talking about very minimal, or I could be wrong, like no bone grafting. So how are you able to do without?
That's one of our core philosophies in our practice is we don't like to do bone grafting. And it's not that we don't like to do bone grafting, it's that we know our patients don't want to do bone grafting.
Is it because it's not necessary based on your training?
It's that we use different techniques, advanced techniques, specialized implants that we can treat literally 99+% of cases without any bone grafting. In fact, last year we saw hundreds of patients who were looking into this type of teeth with the implants, and we had one patient that we had to tell, you got to do a little bit of bone grafting first. But what I tell patients is if you're healthy enough to drive to our office and walk in the door, I can pretty much guarantee you we can treat without bone grafting.
So even if you have really bad gums, you can still do this? You clear up the infection?
Absolutely. The people with really bad gum infection, that's one of the leading causes of missing teeth. So that's exactly what we do, is we help them clean up their gums and get brand new teeth.
All right.
So let me show you one of our patients who went through this recently. This is Christina, and Christina was one of those patients with a really bad gum infection.
Her teeth look pretty good.
They look pretty good, but Christina didn't like them.
Okay.
And what she noticed was that her teeth were starting to rotate. They're starting to spread. She's starting to get gaps between her teeth, and she wondered why.
Like they're loose?
They're loose. They were moving. So she went to see her dentist, and she didn't even realize until she talked to her dentist that she had a really, really bad gum infection. And that gum infection had eaten away at her gums and her bone. And of course, when you lose gums and bone, your teeth become loose. And when they become loose, they start to move.
Okay. So
Christina was faced with the fact, she was told by her dentist that her teeth had like 3 years left, and then she'd have to go into a denture. And for her, it was like, that's just not, I can't do that.
So she didn't want a denture?
She's 50 years old. She associated dentures with her grandma. Her grandma taking her teeth out at night and clinking them in a glass of water. And that just wasn't acceptable for her. We meet so many patients who are married, and with their partner, they won't even take their teeth out in front of their partner.
Really?
It's so embarrassing to them to have to say, okay, good night, honey, and then, okay, I'm gonna take my teeth out, and their face sinks, their whole face just droops, they look, 30 years older, and then throw their teeth in a glass of water.
So what did you do for her?
So Christina saw us on this interview, actually, on TV. That's exactly what we're doing now. And at first she was skeptical. She was wondering, what is this no more dentures? How can you fix teeth with no dentures? Because she was told she was headed towards a denture. So she came to see us. We discovered, she had a really, really bad gum infection. She had infection all over her gums. It had eaten away at her bone.
You can't brush that out?
You can't brush it out. You can't floss it out. It had gone too far. And unfortunately, she had to lose her teeth. But what we did, Randy, is we were able to get Christina a brand new set of upper and lower teeth supported by dental implants. It looks amazing, feels amazing.
They do look good,
and more importantly, it's rock solid, never comes out, permanently secured in her mouth. So she never has to take her teeth out. She never has to deal with a piece of plastic going across the roof of her mouth.
So she can eat whatever she wants.
And she can eat whatever she wants. No hesitation, no restrictions. She can chew, crusty bread, chew into juicy steaks, raw veggies, apples, anything she wants.
Now, those teeth look like real teeth. And I'm not trying to side with you. What goes into that? If you could give me kind of a brief overview.
Sure.
To create a smile that looks like that.
Designing somebody's smile is as much an art as it is a science. So we have to take our patient's face, their smile, the way their lips move, and match everything so it blends in and looks natural.
Is it done on a computer, some of this?
Yeah, it's done on a computer where we do a series of scans of somebody's teeth, scans of their face, and we custom design that smile so that it fits their personality, fits their skin color, fits the way their eyes, their nose, their lips line up. And you can see on this photo how the teeth just perfectly follow the curve of her lip, how they're shaped properly for her face, how you have the lifelike quality of the teeth. They don't look like, like a toilet bowl. They're very, very natural.
They're like a little translucent.
Yeah, their goal is to get them to blend in. The patients that we see, they're not looking to stand out. They're not into the bling. They want to blend in. They want to look natural. They want to look appropriate for their age.
What's it like when a person like this sees their new teeth for the first time in the mirror?
Yeah, it can be really emotional for people who have had a lifetime of really, really embarrassing teeth, and they've always been really, really self-conscious about their teeth. And now they just feel free to smile and be themselves again. I mean, people with nice teeth, they don't know how debilitating it is to not have nice teeth and to always walk around and be worrying about what people are thinking about them.
Really? Okay.
Judging them, making assumptions about them. But what I find, Randy, is it's not really, when they're sitting in our dental chair and they look in the mirror that it really hits them. It's usually something at home that happens. We get a lot of patients that say, I used to, when I go to a store, I had to always have to cover my teeth. I was always worried about, meeting new people, or when I was at work, I was always afraid of being judged. And now I just don't worry about that anymore. And that's the biggest impact to them is it's not really just sitting in the chair. It's their day-to-day life when they realize that they can just be free to be themselves again. And the most common thing that these patients say is that they just wish they had done it sooner.
Okay, so you have more photos. I'll rush you a little bit because I know you have a stack of these.
Sure, so this is Chad.
Okay.
So what Chad told us when he first met us is that he finally decided to do something about his bad teeth because he had 3 young kids. The youngest was like 6 years old or something like that. And it turns out that when Chad went to meet his kids' friends were starting to make comments about his teeth.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, and kids, they have no filter, right? So these young kids were starting to say things about Chad's teeth, and it started to make him feel really, really embarrassed about how he had let his teeth go and how he was really making him feel down about himself. And also, like Chad said, it wasn't setting a great example for his kids in terms of, taking care of yourself and projecting a positive image. So what Chad finally decided.
Now, did he feel like he was going to end up in a denture?
Chad felt like it was hopeless. I mean, Chad had all of his teeth. He wasn't missing any of his teeth, but he had a lifetime of cavities that had to get filled again and again and again.
Okay.
And then turning into root canals, turning into crowns, doing them again and again and again. So he kind of felt like this is just how it is. His teeth are never going to look great, but at least he has them. He told me his teeth kind of look like, corn on the cob. They're kind of all over the place.
Is that right? Okay.
Slightly different colors, just never quite lining up or matching or looking or feeling the way that he wanted.
So what did you do for him?
So for Chad, we gave him brand new upper and lower teeth on dental implants. And now, he can't stop smiling. He shows off his teeth all the time. His kids don't make comments anymore. He's proud to show off his teeth. He's never felt proud about his smile. And Randy, like I said before, when you don't like your smile, it just brings you down. It's like a weight on your shoulders. You don't feel free to be yourself. It can make people feel depressed. It can affect their health because they don't eat properly. They don't want to socialize. He doesn't feel confident to be out in public. And now, like I said, he can't stop smiling.
It's very nice. I mean, he looks younger, more sophisticated, all the things that you were telling me. Sometimes when I hear you, especially when we were talking on the phone, it's like, it seems like, well, it's just teeth, but it's more than that, obviously.
Let me show you the next patient. This is Carmine. And Carmine had been dealing with broken, missing, embarrassing teeth for pretty much his whole life.
Now that's pretty bad. Is that unusual?
It might feel unusual to you because you never see this. I mean, these are the types of people that walk around and they hide their teeth. They never smile.
They don't smile. Oh,
so you might assume that they're grumpy, they're having a bad day, they're quiet, but that's not the case. These people are just embarrassed about their smile.
So this guy would have been headed to a denture. Is that why they go to you? Because their fear is, man, I don't want to end up in a denture.
His particular situation is he told us it was making him feel so self-conscious that he didn't even want to get out of bed in the morning.
Okay.
And that's what forced him to finally do something about his problem. So we saw us on TV, just like this interview.
Okay.
And he came to us and said, I need help. Nobody can help me. My teeth are always breaking. I was told I'm just going to need a denture.
Do you get excited like sometimes when the patients are telling you their hard luck story, but you're going, boy, this is going to be good?
You know, we've seen so many patients go through this that when I meet somebody for the first time, I can tell what their future looks like, and they don't even realize how good this is going to be.
Okay.
And now look at him today. He can't stop smiling. He's a completely different guy.
Very nice.
And you know, when they come back to see us, they're virtually different people. I mean, he dresses nicer. He does his hair. He's, you know, flirting with all the ladies in the office. Always laughing, talking. We can't get rid of him. We can't get him out of the office. He just wants to hang out and talk and laugh and show off his teeth.
And so most of these people are sedated. So pain is not something they really complain about. I realize there's discomfort, but is it a big thing on the list when it's all done? Do they take over-the-counter remedies the next day in certain cases? For the appointment, they're frozen. They're numb. They don't feel anything. They're sedated, so they don't even remember the next day most of what happened. And I find that probably 9 out of 10 patients, they tell us they just take some Advil, take some Tylenol for a couple days, and they feel pretty good. So they always thought it was going to be worse than it was going to be. Absolutely. I mean, the patients that see us have a fear of the dentist. I mean, none of the patients we see like coming to the dentist. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't be in the situation. They've avoided the dentist for years because they've been afraid of what's going to happen. They've been afraid of sitting in the dental chair. And what they say universally is two things. One is it wasn't as bad as they thought. And second, they wish they had done it, 10 years earlier. So how old can you be to get dental implants? Like, what's the upper range? Yeah, I hear this all the time. And I'll show you our friend here, Eleanor. All right. This is Eleanor. And she is our second oldest patient at the young age of 92. 92. She had dentures. Why would a 92-year-old want to do this? Well, because she wants to eat and chew, Randy. Okay. She's got dentures. She's sick of using denture glue. She wants teeth that are locked in her mouth. She doesn't have to take out at night, and she can eat whatever she wants. So we helped her. We gave her rock-solid teeth that she didn't have to remove. And she had dentures before? She had dentures before. And Randy, I told you she's our second oldest patient. Our oldest patient is also her, because she came back a few months later at 93 to do her bottom teeth. She liked the top teeth so good. Okay. She wanted to do her bottom teeth. So Randy, I know patients, colleagues that are doing, 100 years old. So if you've been wearing a denture for decades, I mean, isn't it true though, if you've been wearing a denture for 10 or 15 years, you don't have enough bone to do this? Well, that's just not true anymore, Randy. And we hear that all the time from other dentists, from our patients who have seen other dentists, and we're told they can't get this done without bone grafting. But that's just not true in our office. Okay. If you can walk into our office, we can help you without bone grafting. Is that right? So it's technique driven, experience driven, special implants. What is it? It's all the above. It's the way that we do it is different than the way that most dentists do it. We can treat literally 99.9% of patients with no bone grafting. Okay, very nice, very nice. Time for a few more. I'm going to rush you a little bit. It's good stuff. Randy, let me tell you about this next patient. His name's Philip, drives to us all the way from Toronto. And what he told us is that his grandchildren were starting to make comments about his teeth and the way that his breath smelled. Okay. And that's what really started to bother Philip. It started to make him feel old. It started to make him feel embarrassed that, he had a bad smell in his mouth. Why the bad smell? He had a gum infection. So that causes that? It's bacteria in his mouth. Okay. Yeah, it's bacteria in his mouth that's eating away at his gums and bone, and also doesn't smell very pleasant. So he came to us because he was told that there's nothing you can do. Do they come in skeptical, like they say, Doc, are you sure? These patients have been told that there's nothing that can be done other than a denture. And that's true in that doctor's office with the way that doctor was trained and that doctor's level of experience, that dentures are the standard way of dealing with these problems. But Randy, that's not good enough for our patients. Our patients don't want to wear dentures. So Philip saw us on TV. He heard about our philosophy of no more dentures. So he came to us a little bit skeptical, wondering, well, how do you fix these problems with no dentures? And we showed him. This is exactly what we did for him. We gave him brand new top and bottom teeth. He looks like a happy guy. And he never had to deal with a denture ever in his life. Never had anything. Never had teeth he had to take out. That was the main thing for him, is he wanted to fix his smile. He wanted to be able to smile. He wanted to get rid of the infection, get rid of the smell in his mouth, but never have to wear a denture. And so now they just go to the dentist a couple times a year like regular teeth. It's just like cleaning your teeth. Like sure, go see the hygienist once or twice a year, just like if you had normal teeth. Very nice. Another patient I want to talk to you about, Randy, this is Catherine. And Catherine, like a lot of our patients, have been dealing with a lifetime of bad teeth.
fillings, crowns, root canals, nothing ever works in her mouth.
It's expensive, right, to do
It's expensive.
all that dental work.
Catherine, she's not a wealthy lady. For her, it wasn't about the money. It was about having to do the same fixes over and over and over again. It's the stress, it's the extra time, the extra visits, spending all this time and money and never feeling like she's making any progress. She's done all this dental work. She's done everything right, and she's still left with patchy, uneven, embarrassing-looking teeth that she can't smile with and she can't eat with. And it was really starting to affect her self-esteem. So she was actually brought in by her daughter. Her daughter saw us on TV and said, "Mom, you got to check these people out." So her daughter dragged her into the office and convinced her that, these are the people that you need to see to help you with this. So we showed Catherine what we could do, and she ended up getting the same thing, top and bottom teeth, supported on dental implants. Now she does her hair, she does her makeup, she comes in, she can't stop smiling, she can't stop telling us how amazing she feels. And for these patients, like I said, Randy, it's not about vanity. These patients are never going to be, in a movie, they're not going to be in a cover of a magazine. They just want to feel that confidence boost of feeling like themselves again. It's self-esteem is really what they're trying to achieve.
It's okay, time for a few more. I'm going to rush you again.
So I want to show you this patient. This is James. James had been dealing with, a lifetime of broken teeth, just nothing.
So he has no teeth, obviously, there.
He had a couple of teeth left. You can't see them in his smile because, when people don't like their smile, they learn to smile without showing their teeth.
So he has teeth under there.
He's got teeth in there.
Okay.
There's a couple here and there, but he learns to, to smile just.
And this is like right up your alley. When you see this, you're going, boy, this is going to be good.
I'm like, James, I know this. this is going to change your life.
Okay.
And so it's exciting for me to see their journey from where they start to where they finish, because I know how much this is going to affect him. So James told us, he's losing weight. He can't eat. It's not just because he can't eat. It's because he doesn't feel like himself. And when you don't feel like yourself, you don't want to go out with your friends. You don't want to celebrate. You don't want to go for meals. You end up eating, processed food, soft foods, just whatever you can chew without discomfort. And that was his situation. He was feeling really, really bad about his teeth, and it was starting to affect his weight, starting to affect his health, his physical health, and his mental health. He started to feel like he was neglecting himself, and he was looking for a solution. He went to offices all over Ontario, all over Toronto, even went to the United States to try to find help with his teeth. And he just could never find somebody that he felt comfortable with.
So what did you do for him?
We gave James brand new top and bottom teeth. And now James, he's put his weight back on.
He looks a lot younger.
He looks younger, and he feels younger. That's the most important thing. He feels like himself again.
Now, because we're short of time, and I just want to make sure I get this straight. So you have a 3-step process. Step 1, you have to determine whether they're even a candidate for this. Images, x-rays, whatever. Step 2, as you call it, records, measurements, smile design. Step 3, they get their new teeth. Am I oversimplifying that? Is that kind of how it works?
Randy, we've done this so many times that is really our 3-step process.
Okay.
We meet you, make sure this is the right decision for you. This isn't fit for everybody. A lot of times people come to see us because they think this is what they're going to do. And we have to tell them, no, this is not the right solution for you. There's easier, simpler ways to do it.
Meaning you could save their teeth.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of times we're telling patients, taking your teeth out would be a mistake. You don't want to do this. Yeah,
because there are centers that they only do one thing. Is that right?
Randy, the saying that when you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So it's really, really important to us that we help patients make good decisions for themselves with the lowest chance of regretting it long term. We want people to be happy when they get their teeth. We also want them to be happy a year later, 5 years, 20 years later. So we have to make sure people are good candidates. We had a patient just last week who came in who was set on getting this done, top and bottom teeth. They'd done their Google research. This is what they wanted. They came to us to get it done. And we had to tell them, I don't think this is a good idea for you. I think what you should do is just fix your teeth. Hold on to them for longer. You'd be so much happier. They hadn't seen
So they kind of self-diagnose, just take them all out.
Right. And
so what do? You clear up the infection, do like a combination of procedures, and get them looking good again?
Sure. This is our most popular procedure. This is what we do most often, but it's not the only thing that we do. A lot of times we meet patients and we're basically talking them out of doing this procedure and doing something that's easier instead.
So if somebody's watching this, and of course you'd have to have room in your schedule, an opening, but if somebody's watching this with bad teeth and gums, or they're wearing a denture, because you told me, by the way, you said, I have in my notes, I love helping people with dentures. get upper and lower teeth that don't come out. But somebody watching this, next week they could have their new teeth.
Yeah, absolutely, Randy. We do that all the time.
Okay. One more. I'm going to rush you.
One more. This is one of our favorite patients. His name's Gary.
Okay.
He came to us because he was really feeling self-conscious about his teeth. And you'd never met Gary, but if you'd met him, you'd know he's full of life, full of personality, but he was holding everything back.
Would he cover his teeth or like hide them?
Yeah, then people like this, when they don't like their teeth, they find ways to hide them. So they'll do things like, when they're talking, they'll find a way to, cover their mouth with their hand, or they'll smile without showing teeth, or they just won't smile, right? So people will assume that they're grumpy or having a bad day, or they're just quiet. So what we did for Gary is we helped clean up all the infection in his mouth and give him brand new teeth. And this is Gary today.
Wow.
Everybody loves him because every time he comes in, he's just telling stories, can't stop talking about how amazing his teeth are. And we love him because whenever he comes in, he's like our number one spokesperson. He'll walk around the office and say, no, you got to do this. If you're here to
So he's going to the people in the waiting room.
Absolutely. And Randy, would you say that he looks more handsome now?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, and it's not just him, Randy, it's everybody. And what I find is that it's not just that their teeth look nicer, it's that Randy, he just feels more confident. And when you feel more confident, when you're not self-conscious about your smile anymore, that's the positive energy that shows. You just glow, you radiate that confidence and positivity. And that's the change that we see.
How many years on that before do you think he was walking around with teeth he hated?
20 years, 30 years.
So he lost out on good years. Do you feel that way?
I don't feel that way. This is what they tell us. They wish they had done this 20 years ago.
So no more traditional dentures?
No more dentures. It doesn't have to be that way.
So do you think it's the future, like 20 years or 50 years, dentures as we know them today will all be attached to something? What are your thoughts on that?
That's what we hope. We've been doing dentures the same way for 50, 60, 70 years. Dentures held in by glue, and that's just not good enough anymore.
Now, we haven't talked a lot about denture wearers, and you say that you could probably help them the most, but it's tough to get them in. Why?
Yeah, the patients that wear dentures, those are some of our favorite patients. They don't come to the dentist, though, because they don't know that there's a better way.
Okay.
When they got their dentures, it's usually because they had a lifetime of broken down teeth, gum disease, problems with their teeth for their entire lives. So when their dentist finally told them, it's time to take your teeth out and get dentures, they actually feel kind of relieved.
Wow, okay.
But then they're out of the system. They don't come to the dentist anymore. And when they do come, it's, to get a reline or get their sore spot adjusted. So they don't even know that there's a better way.
But you could almost help them the most.
Those are the biggest transformations.
They walk in the morning, I'm going to quote you, without teeth on the day of the procedure, and walk out with upper and lower teeth that don't come
You
out.
walk in our office with a set of dentures with, broken teeth, missing teeth, worn out teeth. We do our thing. A few hours later, you walk out with brand new teeth. They look amazing.
And you print the teeth right there, like in your office.
We make them just down the hall.
Is that right? And so no more dentures. That's the future.
No more dentures.
Okay, good. Final message. Two groups: denture wearers or people that their teeth are so bad they're worried about they're going to end up in a denture. They've heard what you have to say. Maybe they've seen you on TV before, but they're still skeptical. What do you say to them?
Randy, I invite them to come in and meet us. We'll help them figure out if this is the way to go, or if they should just save their teeth, or if there's an even simpler, easier way to help them.
Now, do you want them to go to the website or just call your office to make an appointment?
They can do either. You go to our website, it has all the information there. There's tons of before and after photos and videos. They can learn all about the process and their options there. That's probably the best place to go.
Good. I want to thank you for coming on the show. Good stuff.
All right, thanks, Randy.
You've been watching the Wellness Hour, news that makes you healthier. I'm Randy Alvarez. For now, I wish you good health.